Welcome to my prosthetic journey for my prosthetic arm. I'm Kim, and if you haven't seen any videos of me before, I lost all 4 limbs due to a UTI that developed into sepsis. And today I was measured up for a multi-articulated bionic arm. I had a hand transplant last year, and you'll see my left hand is there kind of almost hidden by my right arm. They are currently putting the electrodes on. I didn't catch the video in the right orientation. My PA was filming for me, and she filmed in the wrong orientation for this app. So unfortunately it won't be on here. But I've got my electrodes on the top and underneath that will open and close this hand, as you're seeing now. So what happens is, when I push my arm up as though I'm pushing my wrist upwards towards the ceiling, the hand will open. When I push it down towards the floor, my muscles push down and that closes it. So that opens and closes. And the reason they've done this is because they're going to cast me today for this electric multi-articulated arm. And so they have to put the electrodes onto the arm. They've sellotaped them on, well, they've used micropore tape, and then they've put this tourniquet round to hold them in place to make sure they're nice and secure. And then as long as I'm moving, opening and closing this hand, no problems. They know the electrodes are in the right place. So what she does next is she gets a biro and she puts marks around it. Then when she takes them off, there are some indentations of where the electrodes have actually touched my skin. So she puts 3 lines actually on my skin. So she's now covering my skin with cellophane, plastic wrap. Depends what country you're in as to what you call it, cling film. So she covers it with all the cling film because she's going to put plaster on it in a minute. To make the cast. And so what she does, she gets this cling film, plastic wrap, whatever you call it, onto my arm. And then she will mark with a biro or felt pen this time where she's biroed before, so that she's got the marks of, so you see the 3 lines, that's where the electrodes actually touch my skin. Then she goes around the outside where the actual pad touches. Because what they do on the actual socket that they make from this cast, they cut the holes in it for the electrodes to go through, and they know exactly where they need to be so that they fit my arm correctly, so that I can open and close the arm when I actually receive it. So this is just casting me so that I can actually have the socket made ready for the arm to trial. So they will give me an arm to actually trial in a few weeks' time. So this is the start of my journey today, and I thought I would show you all the process, because so many people have probably never seen a prosthetic arm cast, and this is how it goes. So this is what's called a sock. She's damped it in water, and she's got a pencil this time she's marking, because that's more permanent and comes underneath, and it sticks through. It marks inside the plaster cast, so they can see exactly where the holes need to be cut from inside, and then they can cut those holes out for my socket liner once they've made it. So they will now use that cast and make my liner. So when I go next week, the actual socket, as they call it, will be ready. And it's absolutely incredible. So now she's made me bend my arm, and she's moving around with the pencil to mark out where the arm crease is, where that needs to be cut out, because I don't need it going up into the crease of my elbow on the inside. So she's marking kind of the positions on the arm where I need it to be. And it's absolutely incredible that they can do a plaster cast and make a bionic arm for you by doing it this way. And you will see the process next week. I'll attach something to the end of this video about sepsis symptoms as well, because obviously me losing my limbs because of a UTI that developed into sepsis, I want everybody to be aware of sepsis. And I want you to keep that safe somewhere. If you feel unusually unwell, please look at it, keep it safe, and refer to it if ever you are feeling extremely unwell. If it's the first time you've seen one of my videos and you're enjoying it, please like, comment and subscribe. It would be absolutely amazing to have you following along with my journey by subscribing. Make sure you turn on your notifications, because every Thursday I am going to be updating you with the next process of my bionic arm journey. If this doesn't work and I can't use it how I want to use it, I will be going down the route of asking, can I go on the hand transplant waiting list again, and is it possible to have another transplanted hand? So keep following this journey to find out. She's now measuring the different circumferences of my arm on the way down and reading it out to one of the other ladies in the room, that's the OT, and she was taking the measurements. So she measured the length of my arm from the inside crease of my elbow down, so they know how long my right arm is compared to my left, because my left arm, obviously with having a hand attached now, is a lot longer. So she's measuring it. I opened my fingers, so she said that's good because they need to know the length of the fingers as well. And then she measured it again with my fingers kind of shut into a relaxed close, so that they could see the length of my arm. So what they will do is make sure that my prosthetic arm that I get will be the same length as my left arm, because obviously you don't want one arm really short and one arm really long, because that would look really silly. So it's all really, really clever stuff how they do it, and I can't wait to continue showing you my journey and how things go and everything. And if you're wondering why I've got a mask on in there, I always wear a mask when I go into hospitals because I'm immune compromised. I have to be really careful and I have to make sure that I'm protecting myself, and I put it on because one of the OTs that was in the room had a cold, and although she was saying she was better, I didn't want to risk it, so I put a mask on. So here she goes now. She's putting the plaster on, and this is what actually makes the cast. The white thing is called a sock. So that white that she's done all the pencil marking on is called a sock. And now she's going to soak the plaster and come and put it around my arm. And it's just incredible how they do it. And then she has to wait a certain amount of time, but get it off before it's completely set rock solid, but kind of pliable enough that she can obviously remove it. It's absolutely fantastic how they do it. So she's gonna, excuse my dog yapping, he wants some dinner. She was so gentle and so nice, and she's wrapped it all round really, really well. And at the end, she decides that it's not quite strong enough above the elbow. So she goes and tears off one more little piece and sticks some more in. And then I think she'd made it too solid and too high up and couldn't get it off, so she had to cut it. She kind of wriggled it off and then couldn't get it back on, because they have to try and make sure it goes back on again as well, that you can slip your arm in and out. And I couldn't get it back in, so she had to then cut it in a few places to get it back on again. But they know what they're doing, and they are absolutely incredible. So next week you will see the actual socket, because this is what's going to help them to make the socket to the right length. And it's absolutely incredible. And please give me a like on the video and help me to grow my channel. Please subscribe. I'm going to be showing lots of different things that I'm going to be doing with my bionic arm, and if the bionic arm doesn't work, then my journey to go down the route of another hand transplant. But you'll also see, once I've got the arms and things, how I'm going to be back in the kitchen, cooking, and all sorts of things. So you will see so much more content coming from me, and I'm hoping that you will really enjoy it, because I love cooking and I've missed not being able to cook for the last 8 years. So it'll be absolutely incredible to get you in the kitchen with me and cooking the odd meal, going out and about. I'm going to start doing more of these videos and start doing a little bit more on this channel. So please help me to help it grow. Please like, subscribe, comment, ask any questions about my journey. And also, please share. If you share a video, it really helps my channel to grow, which would be absolutely amazing, because not only would people be able to follow my prosthetic limb journey, they could find out more about my hand transplant journey, because I'm sharing that. I'm sharing all about sepsis, which is literally saving people's lives. I have had so many people contact me to say, thank you for your videos, you saved my life. I got really poorly and I remembered your video and I got an ambulance and I was taken to hospital. I had sepsis and I was really, really poorly. You saved my life, which is absolutely incredible that my videos are doing that, and I will continue to do that for the rest of my life. So here she's gone and got the other bit and she sticks it on at the top end here. She just checks first and then she goes and wets it and makes sure that it's okay. So she's just cut it to the right length first to make sure that she's got enough, I think. And then she puts it in the washing up bowl on the side with the water in. And then she'll come back. She kind of squeezes all the water out of it so that it's not dripping everywhere, which is good. And then she puts that on. It's so clever how they do it. It really is. And it's quite quick, really, considering. I think my appointment was for literally just under an hour and a half in total. But it went in a flash. The time just flew. And we were chatting about obviously they was quite interested in my hand transplant, which is absolutely incredible. They were asking all about how that works and how it's doing, and I was telling them, you know, the hand is doing absolutely incredible. It's exceeding their expectations at the hospital. I'm much further along than they expected at this stage. So it's all good news. It's all really positive, and I hope you've seen some of the videos, but if not, please go back and have a look at some of them about the hand transplant. It's fascinating stuff. You know, so many people are saying, why did you only have one done? I didn't have one done. I had both done. I had a right and a left hand for 6 days. And then sadly, I was unconscious after surgery. I fell extremely unwell. My blood pressure plummeted. And I was unconscious for 3 days. And the right hand, sadly, lost blood flow. It clotted and lost blood flow, and sadly after 6 days they had to amputate it because it had died, which is really, really sad. And I felt so bad for the donor and the donor family. They'd been kind enough to give me this wonderful arm. I felt like they might think I didn't want it, and my goodness, did I want it. But you know, it's one of those things and you can't help it. And so I'm a glass half full type of girl, which you'll learn when you're watching my videos. And I just said, well, one hand's better than nothing, which it is. It's absolutely incredible. So please don't forget, if you've liked this video, to give it a like, a thumbs up. Please subscribe and join my channel and turn on your notifications so you get notified when the next video is coming out. Thanks for watching.